Hi there! In this series of videos I'm going to show you some nice recipes from the 101 Square Meals book. You can download this online or you can get a copy of it from the Shannon Family Resource Centre. In this video I'm going to show you how to make French toast and an omelette, both suitable for a nice breakfast or light lunch. So first of all we'll get going with our French toast. For this I have some brioche bread here. You can use ordinary bread too, that's perfectly fine. And I'm going to cut two nice thick slices of it. Pop that to one side. So that's the start of it. And then I have a little dish here and I'm going to pop an egg into that and just break it up lightly with a fork. Just get a little bit of shell in, get that out. And into that I'm also going to put a little drop of milk. Just a little splash will be perfectly okay. And also just a little bit of vanilla. Give that a little stir around. Perfect, lovely. And then I'm just going to turn on my ring, my gas, and just let that pan heat up a little bit there. I also have a little drop of oil and I'm going to pop in just a small amount of oil into that. I also always use a little tiny bit of butter when I'm making it, just literally a little tiny half a teaspoon or less. Just makes it, browns up the French toast much nicer and adds a little bit of richness to it. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to pop our two slices of brioche into our bread, into our egg mixture here. I just let it sit and soak, let the whole bread soak up just for a minute or two. That's really nice there. And I'm just going to pop in our butter here now as well. It's getting hot. And our butter should just melt around there and start to sizzle in a few seconds. To serve this French toast, I'm going to serve with some fresh berries, which I'll slice in just a second, and some maple syrup. You could also serve it with some crispy bacon or fried mushrooms or some sausages or anything you like. I'm going to just flip these over now. They're nicely soaked up all the egg mixture there just now. Nearly there. And our pan, the oil is heated up and the butter is just starting to sizzle there, so that's a nice indication that your pan is ready to go. Now our egg has been soaked up nicely. It's nearly all gone actually from our pan, from the container. So just pop them straight in and they get a sizzle. You can hear that sizzle straight away. And the other one. And this literally takes a couple of minutes only on each side to brown. And we just keep an eye on it very carefully. And when one side is brown underneath, then you flip it over, you let the other side brown, and then you're done. Very simple to make. I'm just going to get my fruit ready here now. So, I have a couple of strawberries and raspberries and one or two blackberries. And I'm just going to slice the blackberries in half. And the same with one or two of the raspberries. I'll leave some of them whole. You know, you can just literally throw them on top. Makes it look good when they look just a little bit random. That's our raspberries. I'm going to just, for a second, I'm going to come back to our French toast and have a little look. And that's actually perfect right now. Flip it over. You can see how nicely golden brown it is there, just like that. We'll check the other one. That looks good too. I'll just wait 1 second more before I turn that one. And while I'm waiting, I'll just slice the strawberry. I leave the green bits on, makes it look pretty. Excellent. So there's our fruit all ready to go. I'm going to flip that other piece of French toast now. Looks really good. Lovely and golden on both pieces of those bread now. So now we just wait for a few seconds more for that to brown up nicely. And while I'm waiting, I'm just going to get my plate ready. Remove a few things from here. And I have some maple syrup. You could also use some honey if you like. That's up to yourself. It's also lovely with just a little dusting of icing sugar on top. Just check the side of this. This is perfect absolutely now. I'm just going to make a little bit of space here so that I can cut them in half. And I cut them on the diagonal. Makes it look nicer, a nicer presentation. Cut them like that. And that one. Grab the other one off. And we'll cut this one. And on they go like that. We drizzle over just a little maple syrup. Tiny bit like that. Just a teaspoon or two really, you know, is all you need. Pop on some berries. I just fling them on like that. Make them look really cool and pretty. A few here and there. Another raspberry. There we go. What are we missing? A strawberry on top. We'll put that there maybe. And there you go. A lovely French toast ready in 2 minutes. To finish off our breakfast, we're going to make an omelette now. I'm going to make a ham, spring onion and cheese omelette. I'm going to use 4 eggs for it, so it's going to be for 2 people. And it's really easy to make. A couple of minutes again, just like our French toast. So I'm just going to start off. I'm going to use a small, like a cereal bowl or something like that, and crack all our eggs into that. I'm going to just season them up just a little bit with some salt and pepper as well then. And if you are using ham, then don't put in too much salt into it because it can be salty, a little bit salty already. So just a little pinch of salt into that. And some fresh ground black pepper, or white, whichever you like. Little grinding of that into it. And then we'll get our fork, stick our fork in, break those yolks down, and just whip them around a little bit there like that. Just until they're all come together, broken down a little bit. Now we're going to get our ring on. Nice and hot, just like when we're making the French toast. We put a little bit of oil into it, maybe a teaspoon or 2 of oil, very little really. Only a very small amount of oil comes out from these kind of containers, so they're very handy to use, I find. And I also have, just like our French toast, I have a little bit of butter here today as well, maybe less than half a teaspoon, something like that. And that again creates a nice browning on our omelette when we're making it, and a little bit of a richer flavour as well. You can leave it out if you don't want to have it. So for our fillings then, I have just a couple of slices of ham chopped up into a few bits. And I have 2 spring onions, again sliced up into little rounds. You could use white onion or red onion if you like as well for that. I might cook those first in a little bit of oil in a pan. If you are putting them into it as raw onion, can be a little bit on the strong side, but the spring onions are a little bit more delicate flavour. And then I have a little bit of cheese just grated up. Any kind of cheese you want at all works well. I have that's some red cheddar. Now this is getting nice and hot, so again we're going to tip in our little bit of butter. Just get that out. Doesn't want to come out for me. In there, and it should start melting, and you can just hear that sizzle there. It's just starting to sizzle straight away, so that's again a good indication that it's nearly ready. We want a good hot pan when we're making an omelette. You want it to sizzle as soon as the omelette hits the pan. So you can hear that sizzle there. Perfect, ready to go. The whole lot of the egg goes in one go. This is a very fast action that you have to do at the moment. So out everything comes, straight into the pan. And I have a kind of a spatula of some sort here. Make sure all the egg covers the whole base of the pan. And straight away you're going to start bringing in little pieces of egg and filling out those gaps that are left. So you can just see here, remove the egg and fill the gap with any liquid egg. And do that continually all around the pan until your egg is nearly set. Some people like a gooey omelette in the middle, and some people like it to be more set all the way through, and completely up to yourself how you like it. So you can see here we're kind of getting some hills and mounds inside in our omelette, and that's exactly what we're looking for. I'm going to just do it a couple more times over around here. And the egg is actually almost cooked now, so this is a perfect time to put in our fillings. Just sprinkle them in a single layer all around the bottom. That's the ham gone in, some spring onion, sprinkle that all in there, that's everything. And then our cheese on top. How much cheese you want to use is completely up to yourself. That's plenty, I think. Lovely. Okay, and at this stage, for me, that omelette is done. The egg has some little gooey places left here and there, you can just see it. The cheese is just starting to melt, the ham and the onion will warm up in a few seconds when I'm ready to plate it up. And you can see at the bottom, I can see at the bottom that it's just browning a little bit at the bottom, and it's perfect. So that is looking good to me. Some people like to stick this underneath a hot grill and cook the top of it, but I like it kind of a little bit gooey in the middle, so this is the way I like to have it. So I have my plate here, and actually just before I plate it up, I also have a few chives, and I'm going to just chop them just finely, and I'm going to pop in a few chives into the centre of the omelette as well, just for a little bit more colour. That's plenty. Sprinkle them around inside. Lovely. In they go. And now, to plate up the omelette, to get it folded over, a little bit of an art in it. Just make sure, first of all, that the omelette can move really easily. See there, it can move very, very easily. That means it'll slide out of that frying pan really well. Actually, a good non-stick frying pan is one of the best things to make this with. So, slide it onto the plate until it's about halfway out, and then literally fold it over, and there you have it. A lovely folded omelette, lovely golden brown on the outside. That's from the little bit of butter that we used, and perfectly cooked, nice and gooey in the centre. A perfect breakfast option, ready in 5 minutes.